Hello, everyone. It's me. It's the Boston Interman of RCCW and CWA Rixie, and I'm coming to you with a video I kind of didn't want to make, but I felt I wanted to get it off my chest because it made me really, really pissed off. Now, those who follow RCCW and CWA should know what exactly the CAW League of Nations is. It is a friends group of the CAW League owners of BGW, RCCW, CAA, CWA, SWA, ULW, uh, IWA, AWE, GWE, PWA, basically a lot of people, and we're all a friends group. It's not like the clique, we're a political group, we're just a group of friends who have our own little community of sorts. But recently, ever since Animania, I more so have reached out more towards, Anime Championship Wrestling, UWL, UCC, no, yes, UCCW, Matt E. Dangerously, UCWL. I've been more especially New Dawn Pro, because those guys are awesome. Shout out to New Dawn Pro, awesome. Adam Jackpot's my man. But some of the subscribers have been spreading the word about RCCW to the bigger names, and I appreciate that, and I, along with the Colleague of Nations, are moving up in the world. Hell, I'm talking to Matt E. Dangerously about being a part of the VGWN, Video Game Wrestling Network, which, can get me promoted elsewhere, and that's a big thing. But I want it to also be not just me getting promoted, but the rest of the Colleague of Nations getting promoted. And I appreciate that, people are so willing to help out in CAW. It's a great community. But the problem is, there's just a few bad apples. And I'm about to talk about one of them right now. Now, he was a former member of the CAW League of Nations before it was kind of like the CAW League of Nations. It was known formally as the Squad, which was kind of a reference to CM Pulse. Pulse's old season mode from SmackDown vs. Raw, or Here Comes the Pain. I forgot which one it was, but those games are very similar. And he was a part of it, but when we became more of a group of CAW Leaguers trying to help each other, and you're more of our own, like, we confided in each other for opinions and such, he felt he was better off on his own and left on good terms. I put quotes on there because he left for reasons I'll get into later. But now, apparently, but we've kept in touch. He's watched the video still, but he stopped and he's blocked me. Get this, over me being completely honest and critiquing his league professionally. I professionally critiqued his league. And I'll probably put up somewhere on the screen about me critiquing him, like what I said. Of course, I'm going to censor his name and such, because I'm not going to name drop him because he doesn't deserve the clout. I don't want people to know who he is because he doesn't deserve that recognition. And I don't want a war on my hands. So he blocks me over some criticisms, and then he has the audacity to put in the description of one of his videos, apparently calling me out, or calling the Colleague of Nations out. I can put it up on the screen. I'm going to start reading off some of this stuff to you. I'm not going to name drop his company. I'm not going to show you where to find him, because I don't want you to find him. I'm going to drop this stuff right here and right now. This is where I'm going to put an end to it. I'm going to shut this guy down once and for all. Call me Keemstar, I guess, because I'm about to expose this guy. So if you can see up on your screen right now, there's a thing that says, now this is from a video of his. There was no commentary, as you can see. There's a reason I decided not to use my commentary and use the entrance music for the wrestlers for this episode of blank. I'm not going to name drop anyone, but to the person who thinks I'm a senile, old, egotistical, selfish, bald-headed, sensitive bitch who has bad booking skills and makes shitty videos, and to the people who support what he said about me, you're all a bunch of classless, lifeless, oppressive numpties. Look at the proper capitalization. What does that spell out? CLON. What else does the CLON stand for? The CAW League of Nations. Now, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, because he likes to go on a rant too. I'm going to go on a bit of a rant of my own. You see, I'm going to admit, one member of the CAW League of Nations was extremely, extremely unprofessional towards this person. I get it. He didn't like this person, but he did act very unprofessional during the draft podcast. He acted very unprofessionally, name dropping this guy, insulting him. It was very unprofessional of him, and I get that. And I don't support a lot of the bad things he said. Do I like some of the things like bald-headed and sensitive and, basically all that. Cena, I don't support that. I never have, because that's taken a bit too far. Very much taken it. It's not professional. You need to be professional in a CAW League like this, and that's why I'm doing this video on my own rather than doing it with the CAW League of Nations, because I know this person would be unprofessional and be name-dropping this other person. I'm not going to say these names because I like this person, but the problem is he needs to learn that his actions have consequences, and this is a consequence of one of his actions. I love him to death, but he needs to chill the hell out. And yes, CAW League of Nations ain't completely innocent in this regard. I can admit that. But we didn't support a lot of the insults. All we supported was what he said about the booking. And I'm going to get to that here in a second. And oh, by the way, you're all a bunch of classless, lifeless, oppressive numpties. Yeah, okay. Well, you know what you are? Well, if I am a classless, lifeless, oppressive numpty, then you are a vile, close-minded wanker. How's that sound? Alright? You're so set in your goddamn ways, you're just... I'm not even gonna... I'll go more into detail into this. And then he says this. There's a quote. Winners don't go after their peers like that. They have class, says his cousin. We never went after you is the problem. We were trying to give you constructive criticism about your league, or what you wanted to be called a league, alright? We were trying to give you criticism to help you better your league, but you didn't want any of that. You didn't want any of that. You blocked me without even responding to my criticism. Both on Twitter, on Discord. I was trying to get a hold of you to talk to you about stuff like this. You blocked me. And I don't understand why. After I simply give my opinion. Well, you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear my opinion. You want people to pander to you. You want people to tell you this is good. That's great. That's fantastic. Regardless of what it is. That's the issue. That's my issue. That was an issue I had for a long time. That's why I have Noah, my brother, who I can name drop because he's the CAW League of Nations member, and there's nothing about him in this drama. Noah is my co-booker to the end, and vice versa. And I appreciate all he's done for me. He's helped me a lot. Had I not gone to him, or had he not come to me, we'd have a lot of issues with our CCW in our hands at the moment. But I'm going to continue. And he didn't have to... And criticism, that's not coming after you. That's trying to help you. And if you don't want the help, fine by me. Another person who deserves a shout-out in a positive manner is Lucas Hackett, who I'm not going to censor his name because Lucas is a friend of mine. Lucas, I do consider a very deep friend of mine. He's great. He's amazing. But here's the thing about it. I'm going to get to this later. I've criticized Lucas. I've been totally honest with Lucas. And you know what? He didn't get mad at me. He didn't block me. He took my criticisms into account. That's what he did. Hell, he made a freaking storyline out of it with the whole Kevin Quinn fiasco. I have nothing but respect for Lucas Hackett. And he deserves a shout-out. And he was right about blank. Blank is my league. And I can book it however I want to. And if I want to push people my way, then I'll do so. And that's fine. That's perfectly okay. That's like, basically, RCCW is my league. I can do whatever I want in it. If I wanted to have Lincoln Lau be the world champion, which he is, I do it. If I wanted to have maybe someone like Marco Diaz or Flash Century or Spike or, Francis get a championship, I could do that, and I could push them however I wanted. But the problem is in execution. It's not who is getting pushed some of the time. It's how you're doing it. And yes, it can account to who it is and if they deserve it, because honestly, you should push people who deserve it more so than what you want. You should be thinking about not what you want. It should be more so what is the right thing to do. And usually, the right thing to do is kind of what you want to do. Sometimes, of course. But the way this person pushes people, it's like they come in, they debut in their first match, they get a title shot. That's how he books, quote unquote, his show. And that's not fair. Nobody comes in their first match under normal circumstances and instantly gets a title shot. Or it's put new number contendership. Now, there may be special things that are exempt from this. But most of the time, on a normal episode, that doesn't happen. That does not happen. And this happened a lot in this person's league, I guess. So I'm going to continue here. There is one more person that I want to give a shout out to, and that is blank. I wanted to censor this person's name because I don't have any beef with this person specifically. I don't even know who it is, perfectly honest with you. But I did not want this person to get any flack for his opinion. His opinion, it's none of my business. If he likes what this guy's putting out, more power to him. More power to him. But I just didn't want anyone to go after him. And like Lucas, he was right about blank. Blank is a simple promotion. I live for simplicity. At least I don't overcomplicate my content, unlike some people that I used to know. Overcomplicate my content. That's the fucking point! That is the point of wrestling, That is the fucking point! It's supposed to be overcomplicated. It's supposed to be out there. That's wrestling. Wrestling may be a sport, but we don't treat it like it's a sport. We treat it like it's a soap opera. We do it for the story. We do it for the quality of the matches. We like wrestling because it gets us invested with the story. You don't have a story, what's the point? Now, you can attest that sports like baseball, like NASCAR, I mean, if you consider it a sport, like soccer, like football, there's no story behind those sports. But wrestling was made to have a story. Professional wrestling was made to have a story. That's how it's always been. That's how it was created. It was meant to be treated as a soap opera, as a Saturday morning not a Saturday morning, but a late night sitcom. It's supposed to have drama. Well, not a sitcom, but opera, soap opera. There you go, soap opera. That's what it is. It's supposed to be and overcomplicated? Overcomplicated. You mean like graphics? FAM. They have put on some of the greatest matches, the best spots, the best graphics, the best overall quality of their show. That is why they are regarded as one of the best. And it's a damn shame we're losing them. We're losing Unite and FAM as a whole for the time being. And that's a damn shame because they are one of the best, if not the greatest CAW League to ever exist. ACW, Hakeem Johnson, the graphics, the effects that guy has on his show are phenomenal. And you know what's something? If I went to Hakeem Johnson right now, and I told him, hey, if I told him in a professional manner, Sasuke, as an example, is boring. I don't like Sasuke. He would take it like a freaking man. He'd understand that. He'd respect my opinion. And, he wouldn't probably bend over backwards because a lot of people like Sasuke, and that's the unfortunate thing. I'm just one person who doesn't like Sasuke. There are a couple, but overall, a lot of the fans like Sasuke, and that's the majority vote. But he'd at least take my criticisms or my opinion like a man, because Hakeem Johnson has been in the game for God knows how long, like over 10 years, a decade of decadence. It's baffling. You want to have a good show. You want to look good. Special effect. Overcomplicating your stuff isn't bad. It's good. If you have great effects on your show, you're doing something right. Hell, you want to know something? Even to a point, Lucas Hackett overcomplicates his stuff. Worms does it. And that's not a bad thing. Those two are some of the best. Worms is a good friend of mine. He's done a lot for our CCW. He's been very supportive of the show. And so is Lucas Hackett. Very good friend of mine. And to a point, they overcomplicate their stuff too. They build up their storylines like they should. Alright, we're going to continue on. We're going to see a new picture next. It's loading it. Alright, so here we go. This next one. Also, to the people who dislike my videos, I know that it isn't just because you don't like blank, it's also because you don't like me. And you're also jealous that I have Vince Russo as a subscriber. Now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to soak this in. He actually thinks Vince Russo, the infamous Vince Russo himself, the dude who created the Attitude Era, bro, subscribe to his channel. On the screen right now, you should be seeing the Vince Russo, the real Vince Russo. This is his YouTube channel right here. That's Vince Russo's YouTube channel. On Twitter, this person posted a picture of the Vince Russo channel that subscribed to him. This is that Vince Russo. This guy thinks that the real Vince Russo subscribed to him. Now look, you could chalk it up because this person does have the, what is it? I don't want to say it outright because I don't want to seem tasteless, but it's something that many people have, and I'd say it's more of it's a disorder that people have. I don't want to say it because I don't feel comfortable outright saying it. But basically, he has a disorder, and you should know what that disorder is. It's a social disorder. And but here's the thing about it. Having that disorder doesn't mean you're stupid. That disorder is just a social disorder. It's hard to interact with people if you have that disorder. And I have a very good friend in the CAW League of Nations still who has that disorder. His name is Nate Express. Amazing guy. One of the smartest minds in the CAW League of Nations. And if a guy named Vince Russo subscribed to Nate, Nate would be very skeptical and he'd do a background check to make sure if it's actually Vince Russo. No, Nate wouldn't even have to know. He would know right off the back that's not Vince Russo. That's the problem with this guy. He uses that disorder as a crutch. That disorder does not make anyone stupid. If anything, it makes them smarter. That's the thing. They're not too concerned with socializing. They're concerned with, their future. And that's amazing. And I'm happy that we've been able to help Nate get out of the shell. And he's one of the most charismatic guys, even though his voice is like a robot, But that's the fun of it. We poke fun at him like he pokes fun at everyone else. We poke fun at each other in the CAW League of Nations. That's what we do. We're homies. We're brothers. But at one point, this person also used that disorder as a crutch because somebody critiqued him and he said that, someone said that something he was planning to do was dumb or stupid. I forgot what it was. Blunt? Yes. And it could have been handled a lot better. But he attempted to use his disorder as a crutch, as a reason to not be called dumb. When it was not even brought up at all. His disorder was not brought up at all. At all. At all. And Nate went on a full-scale rant. He was livid. Livid. Because this kind of person is he's one of those people that gives this group of people a bad name, while Nate's out here giving them a good name. And he's a true inspiration. IWA is amazing the way it is. But, back on the topic, sorry, I went off there. But that disorder should not be an excuse to be this fucking dumb. To think that Vince Russo himself has to subscribe to your channel. And he says, well, guess what? I have the same feelings for you just as you do for me. Congratulations! You want a cookie? I don't give a damn how you feel about me, because you never saw us as friends anyway. All you saw us were for tools to get noticed. That's all we were to you. You even said that. You didn't say, that we were tools, but you acted like we were never really friends. Friends were, I don't know what specifically he said, but he said something along the lines that friends were like overrated or something. No one's ever a true friend or something. That's bullshit. That is complete and utter bullshit. People in the CAW League of Nations are some of the most genuine people I've ever met in my life. I wouldn't trade them for the world. And he says this, I dare you to check out the Russo Brent on Twitch sometime, but I don't think you will happen. That will happen because you're scared. No, we're not scared. It's just that I don't give a shit about the guy who created the Attitude. I don't give a shit about Vince Russo. I don't care about some out-of-touch guy like Vince Russo. I don't care about Jim Cornette. I don't care about Vince Russo. I don't care about anyone from the 80s. Well, to an extent, guys like this. Vince Russo's funny and all, but I don't give a damn. I didn't even know he had a Twitch show until now, until he mentioned it. I don't care about the Russo brand. What's Vince Russo gonna do? You gonna have Vince Russo fight your battles for you? Is that what you're gonna do, buddy? Vince Russo's gonna fight his battles for him. You can't fight your own battles. That's the problem. I'm out here talking about this on my own, when I could have brought my boys in the CAW League of Nations, but I'm facing this on my own in a professional manner, the most professional I can be. I censored your company's name. I censored your name. I'm not calling anyone out by name. I am being professional. But you'd have somebody else come your way, like you have one of your buddies, fight your battles for you. I don't need anyone to fight my battles for me. Thank you very much. If you don't like my content, you can unsubscribe. I'm continuing now. That's the cover of my channel. Already did. You attention deficit, obsessive compulsive, hyperactive seekers. Attention deficit, obsessive compulsive, hyperactive seekers. Attention deficit. Attention deficit. It takes. Do you not realize how much attention it takes to run a fucking CAW League? We're all doing it better than you have. Attention fucking deficit. I'm obsessive compulsive. I have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. I am obsessive and compulsive. I have OCD. Okay? I don't take offense to that because it's the truth. I'm obsessive and compulsive. I'm hyperactive. When I get to drink my Mountain Dew or two, I'm hyperactive. And see, what is a seeker? I only know seeker from hide and seek. What is a seeker? More like, we're trying to help you. Does that make us seekers? We're trying to critique? Give us our honest opinions? And why'd you capitalize all this? Attention deficit, obsessive compulsive. I can't get over that. Attention deficit, obsessive compulsive, hyperactive seekers. I can't get over that. You'll be the least of my worries, and I can always get new subscribers. Yeah, because that's what we were. That's what everyone is to you. Buddy, bro, let me tell you something. That's what everyone is to you. Expendable and replaceable. That's what everyone is for you. That's what your little group of friends right now is. The moment they mess up one little thing, when you get mad at them, you're just gonna go by. You're gonna get mad at them for over something fucking retarded. And then you're gonna replace them. You're gonna get mad at them. You're gonna replace them like you did with us. You just take here's the thing. When that person I mentioned earlier. Now this will explain not justify but explain why he's so unprofessional and why he hates this person so much. My friend, this person was obsessed with. If you know what Go Animate is, you'd know what the whole "you are grounded" thing was. And Boris was brought into CCW, which is Lucas Hackett's League, subscribe to him. This person got obsessed over it. He would say grounded all the freaking time. And my friend, this person in the CAW League of Nations, specifically asked politely, to lower it down. He got mad at him. But that's not all. Another person in the CAW League of Nations. We had a bit of drama with him. He got kicked out. We added him back in a year before all of that. He asked this person to treat somebody who he represented a lot better in his, a little bit. He didn't demand it. He asked, hey, can you treat this guy a little bit better? He got mad at him too. He's like, you can't tell me what to do. This is my CAW League. When he was simply asking him. If you had somebody who you represented, I know some guy. I know someone who represents a character from the game, I believe Kingdom Hearts. I know he's a cool guy. So this person, if I had his character, I think her name's Aqua. Yeah, Aqua. If Aqua was signed to RCCW and she wasn't being treated the way that this person thought she should be treated, if he were to come to me and say, hey, look, I don't like the way Aqua's being treated. I don't like her plan currently. Can we talk about this? I'd say, yes, of course. We are welcome to talk down anytime we're welcome to talk. You can talk to me. We can talk about a plan, etc. No, if this guy right here, he'd get mad at you for doing something like that. For being concerned for your character who you represent or character you created. That's how he is. And then he asks, so yeah, we're expendable, we're replaceable, we're disposable to this guy. That's what everyone is to this person. Then he continues with, did I ever once criticize your leagues? The answer is simple. No. No, because you never had anything critique-wise to say. You never had anything smart to say. You didn't have your own opinion. You were a sheep and you went along with everything. You didn't have your own opinion. If you had your opinion, you would, say, hey, I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't really feeling that. And that'd be okay. I welcome criticism. That's what I do. That's what all CAW Leaguers who aspire to be as big as FAM, as ACW, as SCAW, Story Mode Federation, as every CAW League in the book who's been there and done that, they need to take criticism. And if they can't, they're never going to succeed. As then he asks, so why criticize me in blank? The answer to that is simple, because we have the balls to say what nobody else has the balls to say, to quote CM Punk. We have the nuts to say how we feel, unlike you. Or how you feel does not, you just go with the flow. You don't care what happens. You think everything is great the way it is. And, sometimes that's all right, but sometimes criticism is needed. Like, we were doing reactions one night, because the CAW League of Nations does reactions. Everyone in the CAW League of Nations gets an early viewing of a lot of our content. Like, maybe an hour before RCCW is being posted out. The CAW League of Nations are watching it. And during the reactions, my brother Noah would come to me and say, Kurt Bale and Cletus at Evolve went on for too long. And that's fine. But he just sit there and say, great match. Like right after my brother said, went on for a bit too long, or he said it was boring. And I can admit to that. The backstage parts could have been chopped all the way off. And we could have still had a great 30-minute match. Way too long, and I can admit that. But no, he just doesn't have it his own opinion, is the problem. And then he says, you have capitalize no idea what I have been through, and in turn, I have no idea what any of you have been through. What does it have to do with critiquing your league? Continuing, maybe you were bullied for being different from the other people. Maybe you were racially profiled because of your skin color. Maybe you were judged because of your sexual orientation being different from others or something. I know I was, and I've been there. Can I ask again, what did any of that have to do with us criticizing your league? That's the shit bullies. That's the shit that inspires a bully. We weren't bullying you. We were critiquing your league. Something that somebody I mentioned earlier said this very clearly. When you put something on the internet, it is open to criticism. Now, I'm going to go through I'm going to say this. You have the audacity, freaking audacity to bring bullying, to bring race, to bring sexuality into this. You have the audacity to try to use those cards for us merely critiquing you, for trying to help you. You have the audacity to chalk our criticisms up to problems like bullies, like racists, like sexists, homophobes, something like that. You have the audacity. I couldn't tell you one thing. I can't speak for everyone in the CAW League of Nations, but bullying has nothing to do with our opinions when it comes to CAW. And I can say, I don't think anybody in the CAW League of Nations has been racially profiled, at least in CAW. Or they seem like they're in good places. So I highly doubt they were racially profiled in a malicious way. And everyone in the CAW League of Nations is straight. We're straight. Now, somebody may be in the closet still, or I may be forgetting that someone may be bisexual or gay, but as far as I know, we're at least half straight. I can speak for myself when I say I'm straight. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. And we make OCs for CWA, for VGW, for CA, for the CAW Leagues, for original characters. We have original characters who are of LGTB. We have Lodestar Luminous, who is bi, Cake, who is bi, the artist, who is gay. We have various other characters who are homosexual or bisexual, who we have created. Other than that, nobody in the CAW League of Nations in real life is gay. Or at least fully gay. Yeah, like, we make a bunch of stupid jokes in CAW. That's about it. But that just proves how comfortable we are with our sexualities. We make a bunch of stupid jokes, and that's about it. And look, I'm not trying to... And I don't care what you've been through, and neither do... And you shouldn't care what I've been through when it comes to CAW. Because what we have been through in our lives does not reflect what happens in CAW unless you're doing a pretty personal storyline. Which, could be seen... That can be implemented into a storyline and all. But you're not doing that. This is legit. Let's move on to the final one here. At least now I surrounded myself with some good people that I have gotten to know, like blank, blank, and a few. They give me compliments on my blank videos. On top of that, they're also your friends. They're also your friends and subscribers. I don't see any of you criticizing their leagues. Okay, I'm gonna go. Yes, you surround yourself with some good people. Yeah, those guys are probably some great people. But the problem is, the CAW League of Nations are good people too. But you fail to realize we were in the good of our heart. Well, some of us were. In the good of our hearts, we were trying to help you by giving you our honest opinions. You mark us out like we're some kind of villains in a freaking movie. And yes, people like Lucas Hackett are my friends. I value Lucas Hackett as a very good friend. And Worms as well. I don't see you criticizing any of their leagues. Bro, a storyline was made in CCW out of me criticizing the Disney Death Dealers. Are you a moron? Who's attention deficit now? Were you not paying attention that entire time? I've criticized Lucas, and like a man, he took it. And Worms? Worms does not have a league yet. He's doing League's Collision right now, which you should all check out. League's Collision. He's doing that right now. When he starts the league, I'd be more than happy to give him my honest opinions and stuff, my criticisms. Because that's what CAW needs. Criticism. You can't take the heat. Get out of the kitchen. I've also become friends of large blank there. I don't want anyone to be, seen there. I don't want to make any of these people out to be bad people because they're probably not even bad people. They're just victims of circumstance. And I have no beef with any of this person's friends. If you know who you are, I have no beef with you. The beef was only with this person. And the beef is ending right here after this video. After this video is done, I want nothing to do with this person anymore. At least we don't criticize each other in our leagues. But here's the problem, buddy. Their leagues are just for fun. They're live streams. Are they leagues? If they want to consider themselves a league, absolutely. But they're not the same league as RCCW is. As maybe Anime Championship Wrestling is. As UCWL is. Those guys are doing it for fun, and that is perfectly acceptable. It's like an RCCW live stream. We're there for fun. Title swap hands, no biggie. It's for fun. But when you want to be taken as an actual league, like SCAW, AC, I've made, the examples by now, then you have to implement booking. You have to take criticism. There's nothing to criticize about those live streams. It's just for fun. Now, yes, this is for fun as well, but for a different reason. Not only is there fun, but you've got to work out the kinks. It's a big, big responsibility to run a CAW League. A responsibility you clearly are not ready for and never will be ready for because you can't take criticism. That's the whole thing. You can't just keep sucking each other off and telling each other that this is great. If somebody doesn't like something, they've got to be honest, or it's never going to get fixed. How do you think
I'm telling you, had I been oh, Desi Death Dealers is, cool and all, to Lucas, this would be a lot different. He wouldn't know my real thoughts. I hate Disney Death Dealers. I don't see the appeal to it. It's kind of dumb to me. But you know what? I went about it in a nice way. I went about it in a way that was respectful to Lucas. That was respectful to him. Respectful to his thoughts and opinions. I told him my honest opinion. I didn't say, fuck you, Lucas, this is stupid. I said, Lucas, I just don't like this. I don't think it's a really good idea. And he took it like a man. Because how is somebody going to get better if you keep feeding them lies? If you lie to somebody if there's a problem with somebody, but you keep lying to them and telling them it's good, how are they ever going to get better? How are they ever going to get better? And the way your league comes off, you're trying to be like our CCW. Hell, you're trying to be the next CCW. That's the thing I want to get on. The people he signs are just out of the blue. See, the problem with CAW Leagues is signing people is a big, big thing. Because you've got to know if they're going to actually stick. If they're going to be fan favorites. If they're going to be, big names. But sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes if it's somebody you want, and if someone you know for a fact is going to go somewhere, they're not going to go anywhere if you keep simulating matches. If there's no booking. There's got to be booking with wrestling like this. Got to be story. Got to be booking. Got to be everything. You can't let the CPU decipher this. And even the CAW League of Nations, to an extent, are guilty of this. Some members of the CAW League of Nations are guilty of it. And they know they are, and they own up to it. And they try to better themselves. That's what criticism does. It helps. It helps you be better, but only if you take it as criticism, not as hate, as criticism. As people trying to help you. And so we finish it with, in conclusion, I'd rather be simplistic with blank than be overly complicated like the other leagues. As I said, these other leagues are overly complicated. FAM, that makes them legends. And I'd also rather be out of touch than be in the now when it comes to my tastes in wrestling, music, and politics. One of those is relevant to the situation. Wrestling. If you're out of touch with wrestling, then you can't run a CAW League. You have to be up to date. That's like saying you're gonna keep on playing full time. You're gonna play the PlayStation 2 forever. Well, no, that's not a good example because people do still play, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. It's like when your Xbox has to get an update, when your game updates, and you're like, nah, I don't want to update it. I want to stick in the past. I don't like that. It's like no, it's a mandatory update. You need to update your stuff. And as for your music and politics, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your political views and your music choices, okay? We don't care. Nobody was confusing you about those stuff. I mean, that's pretty hypocritical considering how close-minded you are about that stuff anyway. Considering you're willing to get into a debate with people who like Donald Trump. And if you can't accept me for what I am, you can just simply move on. I know I already have. Which is why you went on a full-scale rant in your description. Yeah, you've totally moved on. I would have moved on from this. Had you not done this stupid shit. Had you not pulled this stupid shit, this video would not even be existing right now. But I had to get it off my chest. And you know what? I can't accept you. Because you know why you run through friends, apparently? You know why people block you on Twitter? Which wasn't me, by the way. You know why? Because you're annoying. That's just the basics of it. You're just annoying. You're loud. You don't listen when people tell you to turn down your damn microphone. You just don't listen to people. You're compulsive. You're impulsive. You act on a whim without thinking. You overreact. You're dramatic, and you're toxic. Overall, you're toxic. Oh, and look at this. In the words of another simplistic person who may be out of touch, by the way, is out of touch. Thank you, fuck you, bye. Rant over, end of story, deal with it. well, you know what? Good riddance to you. Because I tried to like you. I liked you at one point. I did. When other people were saying, when people were coming to me complaints about you, I tried to defend you. And when I say one little thing, you get mad at me, you block me on Twitter, on Discord, you can't take my criticism lightly because you're a man-child. You are almost 40 years old, and you're overreacting about what a 19-year-old kid has to say. You're overreacting when he's trying to present it in a professional manner, a more professional manner than you could ever hope to have. Because this right here is unprofessionalism. You will never, and I repeat, never make it in CAW, this being this goddamn unprofessional. This is a disgrace. This is just, it's unprofessional. What else can I say? And by that little jab at the beginning, yeah, we're unprofessional. That jab right back at you, you brought that upon yourself. So yeah, rant over, end of story, deal with it. I'm dealing with it. I'm perfectly fine with it. Because we're better off. Because you like to say you're better off without us. We're way better off without you, clout chaser. Basically what you are is a clout chaser. So that is the video to an extent, but there's also some little tidbits right here. I went to the ACW chat. The ACW Discord server, great place, a lot of great people, and I placed this down in the, I told people about this. And as you can see here on the screen, most likely, I have in fact censored these people's names as to not give off their identity, because so they may remain anonymous. They will be merely referred to as blue, green, red, and yellow. So blue was agreeing with me what I had to say. Green says, dude, we all have to expect criticism. Not everyone will be satisfied. Can't satisfy them all when it comes with the job. That is precisely right, Green. You should know who you are depending on who you said that. But Green is completely right. Then Yellow comes in here and says, shoot, if I was a CAW League owner, I would want all the feedback that I can get, but if you can't handle criticism, then I don't know what to tell you. That's how I feel about this guy, Yellow. I don't know what to tell this guy. Other than what I've already told him, that's it. Green comes back. I expect both good feedback and bad feedback. And good on you, Green. Green is an aspiring CAW Leaguer. And I hope Green makes it far. Green is prepared for CAW. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be ready for this. I will admit, I wasn't ready for the criticism when I first started out. I wasn't expecting a lot. Because I didn't honestly expect RCCW to get noticed. But when it got noticed, there came the criticism. Mostly from my own brother. But I took it in stride. I took it, and now I have used it to mold the foundation of RCCW. Evolve's plans were a lot different. Originally, and I can say this now, you know the position Dipper was in? Originally, that was going to be Bonifer. He was going to be like a tweener going into Evolve. But my brother, my reliable brother, who is the president of the mid-card, and the biggest AJ Styles mark imaginable, came to me and said, that's a stupid idea. You should change it to someone who deserves it more. Dipper Pines. That's why Dipper Pines is in the position that he is. And did you know, originally, Ronnie Ann won that briefcase. She was actually going to cash in and win the title. Noah told me that wasn't a good idea either. And so now, the Queen Bees are the champions. It's not because of his bias for the Queen Bees. It's because he saw the opportunity to do the Heather's momentum. He saw it right there and he pulled the trigger. And now we go back here to Red, who says, exactly, no matter positive and negative. Green then says, it won't mean I'll change my plans, but it will help me rework how I'm going about my plans. Exactly. That is what happened, what I just mentioned. I reworked my plans. Sometimes criticism won't change your plans. Sometimes you're set in your ways. And sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But if you at least take notice of the criticism and realize it's there, then you should be proud of yourself because you've taken notice of the criticism and you're taking it into account. I regret one thing. When Ronnie and when they get the greed, Nate Express, as I mentioned earlier, told me he didn't feel it should happen. I should have listened to him. I took his criticism into account, but I should have listened to him. Because now I will never doubt anything Nate says because he's one of the smartest people in the CAW League of Nations. And I love Nate Express dearly. Now we move on to this next one. Green is back at it again. It won't mean I'll... Oh, we already read that. Well, Red comes in and says, I don't mind those criticisms. I agree, Green, including that. Green says, and this is the nail on the head, CAW owners, writers, and such all should have a vision of a plan they would like to keep, so they need work on how to do it. If the plan changes completely, okay, but if they want to keep what they imagine or at least some of it, at least apply a few changes if needed. Yellow says, CAW owners work hard to put something entertaining for their audience, and I would think that they would like some feedback, like, hey, that was a great episode, or I wasn't really feeling this part about X versus X. Green then finishes off with, exactly. They can learn from this and become better. They just need to make sure they don't completely bend to the viewer's will, otherwise, it doesn't feel like you're writing this anymore. Exactly. Green, God, is Green like a genius or something? Green's a genius. Because, yes, you should listen to your fans and your peers. But you should have faith in yourself as well. There's having too much faith in yourself and too much faith in the fans. You need to be right in the middle. You need to listen to the fan base. That's what I'm trying. That's what I do. I take the people that people want to see, and I try to push them. I have plans to push some big fan favorites this season, but I also do it in a way where I want it. I want to make sure it's something I want to do, and all of these I want to do it. I have faith that it's going to work. And you can't bend. This is your colleague. Your colleague is yours to control. But if something doesn't stick, it doesn't stick. You can try to put glue, but glue can only last so long. If something doesn't stick to the wall, it's not going to work. Green just speaks the truth here. You learn from your mistakes, and you can become better. That's what the 2K18 season was for me. It was a bad season in my honest opinion. But I learned from those mistakes, and I know never a freaking again am I doing a storyline with OV fucking E. I'm never doing the gate crasher. Sorry, no, that was CWA, the gate crasher. No, gatekeepers, bad idea. OVE, bad idea. John Sebastian, I made that a good idea. Thrilla Manila as a whole, technically, bad idea. Just a lot of the season was bad. Evolve was the saving grace, I believe. And even that had a few mistakes. But overall, yeah, you learn from your mistakes, but if you're not willing to learn from your mistakes, and you can't take the criticisms of your peers, you do not belong in CAW, and you should just give it up. This person who I've just taken 40 freaking minutes to rant on does not belong in CAW, and I'm going to put it quite bluntly. He is so set in his ways, he will not change. He has refused to change all the time. And you know what? He's better off on his own. He is better off on his own, because we don't have to carry him for clout anymore. He can't sign my people for clout. And, I'm not telling any of his friends currently to, oh, you should hate him or you should hate me. I don't want any... This beef is done. I'm done concerning myself with this guy. If he keeps my name and my friends' names out of his fat fucking mouth, I will not mention him ever again or his company. I didn't even mention him by name. I had the courtesy to not even mention him by name. But you know what? The next time he wants to pull something like this, if he ever, tries to insinuate we were the bad guys ever again, if he tries to slander us on his channel again, if he ever even tries to do a little anagram like he did at the start of his little rant, I will name drop him. I will destroy his life. I will destroy his company. Not his life. I will destroy his company. I'm going to end the man's career. And that's only if he decides to name drop us or do something slick like that again. But for now, I'm done. This guy is the last of my concern. What is my concern now? Running our CCW and CWA and helping my peers in the CAW League of Nations run their leagues as well. That's my goal for this. That's my goal from now on, as well as to get the names of the CAW League of Nations out there. Get a commercial ready for Maddie Dangerously. Get stuff hyped. Get the CAW League of Nations out there so that we can maybe get on the level of ACW, of SCAW, Story Mode Federation, No DQ CAW. Guys who planted the seeds of CAW. We want to aspire to be guys like them, not for the fame and the glory, but for our name, for our hard work to be recognized as well. And that's all that we want to do. We want to show you guys, as well as these big-time CAW Leaguers, we can do just as much as they can. And I'm pretty sure that these big-time CAW Leaguers want to see that as well. They want to make sure that the sport, but when their time comes to eventually close the door on their CAW League, that the next generation will be ready to step up the mantle. And that's what we're ready to do. We're trying to prove that we are ready. RCCW has gotten so out there, and it's shocking. I thank you guys so much for helping get the name of RCCW out there. This has been a dream of mine to do for almost a decade. And now that it's coming true, I'm so happy. And, even as a kid, I knew I wasn't going to get so far. I wasn't going to make it thus far. But I've had the honor of talking to guys like, I've had the honor to talk to guys like Hakeem Johnson, to VPOC, Matty Dangerously, Smokey from WEDF, and many other colleagues. Adam Jackpot from Dude on Pro Wrestling. I've had the honor and the privilege to talk to these guys, and these guys know who I am. And Adam Jackpot even DMs me when New Dawn Pro's on. He's like, "Hey, New Dawn's streaming, come join us." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'll be there." I may end up late because I'm doing something at the moment, but I always make an appearance to show up. Not just to promote myself, but to support these guys. To maybe also gain their support. Respect is earned, not given. And this is how you get respect. You give your respect call. And that's what I want to do. That's what the CAW League of Nations want to do. But the CAW League of Nations themselves have to realize we have to be professional as well. Some members are not as professional as others. Like, I could be coming out here cursing up a storm, saying, fuck you, fuck this guy. But I'm not. I'm trying to handle this in a more professional way and point out the flaws in this guy's statements. And it's not really, I don't want anyone to go after this guy. He doesn't deserve anyone to go after him because, quite frankly, that would just get him attention. That's getting him views on his videos. And your ratings won't even matter because he's turned off his dislikes and likes. I don't bring this video to you guys because I want this guy's career to be ruined utterly. Despite what I said, I would end this man's career if he name-dropped us ever again, or tried to say something like this to us ever again, but I don't want it to end up like that. I want this to be the end of the beef, and I never want to hear from this guy again. I never want to hear his name. I never want to hear anything about him ever again. I never want this guy to ever be met. I want him to sit down and think about what has happened. Think about how far RCW is going to go and how low his colleague is going to go. And I don't want to sound arrogant when I say that, but it's kind of the truth because, like I said, you guys have helped us. We've been noticed by so many people, and very soon we're going to make out a deal with Matty Dangerously to get on the VGWN, the Video Game Wrestling Network, and get promoted. The CAW League of Nations being promoted by Matty Dangerously and the VGWN, and it's amazing that my dreams of being a mainstay in CAW are actually coming true and people are taking notice. And I thank you guys, and I have nothing to thank but you guys, and I appreciate everything you guys have done. But I just made this video because I was mad that this guy said so many wrong things, so many stupid things, and I had to get it off my chest. I had to vent my frustrations and to send a message to you guys about criticism. To all my people, to all my friends, to all of the fans who aspire, to all the aspiring colleagues, if I can give you one piece of advice, do not take criticism of people not liking something that happened on your show to heart. Do not take it as an insult. Take it as a way to improve yourself and what you're producing. Let that be what drives you. Let that be something that inspires you to better yourself, to better your product, to better everything about your colleague, and, be prepared to have criticism because it's going to happen. There's a lot of blunt and honest people in CAW. And honestly, those are the more. Oh, we need more people like that. People who are blunt and honest. Because without blunt honesty, we're all just gonna be stuck in la la land, and that's the unfortunate of it. And people like my brother, and a lot of people who are blunt, need to be more blunt. They need to express how they feel. They need to express their opinions more than they already do, as to help other colleagues who will. And if you can't accept criticism, well, sorry to put it bluntly, but you don't belong in CAW. If you don't take criticism, you're not going to survive in CAW. It's a CAW eat CAW world out there, and if you can't take the criticism, you're gonna end up on Daily Motion. That's no offense to anyone on Daily Motion, but that's just a joke. But you're gonna end up irrelevant. You're gonna end up being the bane of everyone's existence. You're gonna end up outcasted, ousted. You're gonna become the black sheep, a black sheep of CAW. You need to take criticism. This person will not take criticism. He just can't. And I'm not going to be vilified by this person because I spoke how I felt, my genuine opinion. I refuse to be villainized. I refuse to be slandered. So if I can just say one thing to anyone aspiring to run a CAW League, take criticism and use it to better yourself. Use it to better yourself. Ask for help. Don't be afraid. People in CAW aren't going to bite. People in CAW want to help. Guys like Matt E. Dangerously. He wants to help. He wants to give to people. I'm sure people like Hakeem Johnson. People like Adam Jackpot. Jamal, I believe is Bedlam. I believe. But he's a moderator in the ACW chat. People who are in CAW aspire to help. They want to help. And if you need honest opinions from people, maybe from me, if you need an opinion from someone like me, you're more than welcome to come and ask. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Discord, hell, even ask in the comment section. I'm open to give you my thoughts and opinions, but all thoughts and opinions will differ. You need to go to different senseis to better yourself. So I've been talking for almost an hour now. I've wasted an hour of my life talking about some guy who pissed me off, but it's more of to deliver a message to all of you, all of the fans who want to be in the CAW, who wants to be CAW leaguers, and people who I aspire. I hope this will also open your eyes, and you guys will be more vocal about your thoughts and opinions on RCW. I mean, I love a good comment when someone says, "Great show, Rick, you've outdone yourself," but I love a good, honest review. Guys like Bloodied Assassin, Brian Bonus, those guys, and so many other people, D-Man, a lot of people give their honest reviews, and that's great. I love reading reviews and how people feel. Even sometimes, if he can find a time when he's free, because Lucas is very busy, he'll leave a review. And I love a good, honest review. That's one of my favorite parts about CAW. I love commentating, and I love reading the comments. I love it when I get a lot of comments to respond to. I love it. The reactions, it's beautiful. It's poetic that almost 10 years of waiting for this moment, and all my hard work is paying off. And I'm glad that I can be noticed by a lot of CAW leaguers, and I have no one to thank again but you guys, because you guys are some of the best. You may have your moments. We all have our moments. But you all are great. And I appreciate you all greatly, and I love you. And I wouldn't be here today without you guys. So with that, I'm going to end it off. This is the end of the rant. Consider my rant. This is the end of the rant. End of story. Goodbye. And to this one person, in the words of an out-of-touch redneck, thank you, fuck you, bye. And I want nothing more to do with you. Keep my name and the CAW League of Nations names out of your description, out of your mouth, out of your friends' mouths. I want nothing more to do with you. Bye-bye. This is the end of it. No more description rants. If you do it again, there will be hell to pay. But hopefully you will listen. And hopefully this won't have to go on any longer, because I want to move on with my life. And for your information, I have a life. I have class. I have a life. I am. What was the O? Oppressive? I'm not oppressive. I'm not oppressive. And I am a numpty. I'm a fucking numpty. That's what I am. I'm proud of being I'm Humpty Dumpty. I'm shaped like a freaking egg. And you know what? I wouldn't be any other way. Oppressive? No. But oppressive, I am not. I don't know. Classless? Nah. Lifeless? Nah. Oppressive? Nah. A numpty? Absolutely. I'm a fucking prick, and I love to be a prick. That's my gimmick. Rick the Dick prick. And you know what? You can say anything you want. You can use little sly insults. But just know, I'm not having it anymore. I'm done with you. And this is the last bit of clout you can ever get off me and the rest of the CAW League of Nations. We are done tweeting about you? Ain't that right? We're done tweeting about you. You know who you are. You're tweeting about this person, giving them material. Exactly. We're done tweeting. We're done talking. We're done conversating. We're done ribbing at you. We're done calling you out. We're done. No more. We're done. You've taken too much clout from us already, and we're done giving you material. We're moving on, and we're moving on to bigger and better things. And we will leave you in the past, just as you want to be, left in the past. So have fun being in the past, and we'll have fun moving on into the future. Bettering ourselves and our product and the quality of it. And we're going to have all the fun in the world doing it, because we are the CAW League of Nations. We are brothers. We are hard-working individuals who have lives, who have aspirations, who will not be blamed for a couple members' misgivings. You lump us all into a group, but in actuality, it was only a couple of us. It wasn't even me. Other than my criticism about you that I showed earlier, most likely. I'm pretty sure I did show. But other than that, we're done. No more. No more. Never again. This beef is finished. I want you and your new friends to not leave any kind of... I don't want you to talk about us. Lucas is more than free. Because I don't care. Lucas can like whoever he likes. If he likes you, that's fine. It's none of my business. But I don't want Lucas to get the wrong idea about me because you're feeding him a bunch of lies. I'm not trying to ruin your reputation with Lucas. You're trying to do it with me. I know it for a fact. Lucas is my friend, and I love him dearly. And the same can be said for Worms. But the people that I don't know, who aren't my friends, I have no beef with them whatsoever. No beef. So don't send them over to my videos to start battles. Alright? Alright? Good. So that's it. That's the end of my little rant. My video. Hopefully you all can take away from this and learn to be better than this person. And hopefully you can take criticism better than he can. Because if criticism is what makes the world go round. You can't take it, well, that's your problem. And you're never going to make it as a colleague if you can't take the heat. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's the old saying. In conclusion, please, leave me alone. And to my fans, my friends, and other CAW Leaguers, aspiring CAW Leaguers, criticism is important. Take it in stride. Use it to your advantage. It's a gift. It is a privilege that people come to your videos to give you an honest review on them. That's a privilege. It's not a guarantee. So use it to your advantage and appreciate what you have. What people have done for you. Alright? Alright. I've been doing this for a gosh darn hour. I'm out. This is Rick C signing off. And be on the lookout for Battleground real soon. I love you guys, and have a good night.